So, good morning. I'm on my morning walk and I have a coffee shop as my planned end point because I want to spend a bit of time sipping coffee and putting together a plan of attack for a submission to a illustration prize. One of the publishers, Hardie grant here in Australia, they have a yearly prize that they run for one of their lines, Little Hare, which is aimed at younger kids. And it's a really great opportunity for new people to have a go at what it's like to design something and create characters and tell a visual story for somebody else's words. So they provide you with a little bit of they provide you with the text for a book, an upcoming book, and there's some guidelines around what sort of things to submit. From memory, it's they want a page to show how you develop your characters, and they want a page that shows how you would set up a double page spread, sort of a layout for it, get a bit of a sense of how you problem solve putting the visuals to the words, and then they want a double page spread of the finished art as well. But they really encourage people from all walks to have a crack at it. I'm just kind of interested in doing it as a little bit of an exercise, a bit of a fun project, to be honest, and an opportunity to perhaps try some different styles maybe. And it's a really cute story. I might break down the story a little bit in a bit more detail. It's pretty rich in terms of ideas for really cool visual things. And I've got some ideas in mind already, but I want to take some notes. I want to drink some coffee, maybe have some breakfast as well. So let's check back in. This will probably be something I'll do over the next few weeks because the submission deadline's the end of this month. So it's nothing like a good deadline for a bit of extra motivation. So I might just track my progress on this and see where it takes us. All right, time for brekkie. So I've had my coffee, my cheeky eggs benny, delicious, and read through the submission, and there's lots of great stuff in there. Going through it step by step and just making sure I'm picking out all of the things that they want or they're looking for was the very first step. It's a lovely little story about a young girl who would rather be a dinosaur. It's called Dinosaur Stomp, by Sandhya Parappukkaran, and yeah, they provide all the text. The judges are looking for skills in composition, visual narrative, character design, all of the normal things you would expect. And sure enough, they want 1 to 3 pages of sketches. And one of those pages, I have already an idea in my mind how I want to show how the main character, Danya, transforms into a dinosaur through a crafting process. She's at a table with sticky tape and cardboard and her markers and her paints, and she's making up her dinosaur costumes, and then you sort of see that progression, and at the very end she's transforming into how she sees herself as the dinosaur. So I think that could be a really cool idea. But there's a long list of other characters in there. There's a long list of dinosaurs as well, and yeah, plenty of really rich fodder. Kind of excited about this. This could be great fun. So I've written some notes. I think the next step is to head back and start doing a little bit of sketching, a bit of ideas, probably in the sketchbook just to start with, and then sort of work out which of the pages I think I might want to focus on. So let's see how we go. We'll check in. quick update. I've had a little bit of fun just sitting here thinking of ideas. Sort of, here's my page of notes, and here's just a very loose, rough exploration of things, mostly getting some really ugly things out of the way. But starting to get closer and closer to some ideas I might want to explore further. And this one was like an idea for the mum, and it was sort of this little square type, more blocky type figure with a square nose. So turned that into sort of more of a page exploring that idea of the main character, Danya, sort of having fun making her dinosaur persona in a very crafty fashion. So like here she is getting her collection of materials, cardboard boxes and the like, and here she is starting to cut things up and paste and stick and paint, and here she is showing off her construction to her mum. Here she is dressed up in her dinosaur costume, and here is how she might perceive herself. Now this style here looks a little bit too dissimilar to this style, but it's that concept that I'm exploring at the moment, that I'm kind of excited about this being one of the sort of character sheet pages that I could show how I'm developing the character. So that's been a productive day. I'm happy where I've got to. I brought in the sketches into Procreate, just took a photo and used them as a underlayer, and basically drew back over the top of them with some digital pencils, and I've added a little bit of colour just to give me a sense of what it might look like. But yeah, I'll show these now, but I'm happy with this sort of little idea of showing as a part of the character's development sketch section, this idea of Danya creating her dinosaur costume, so you get to see her in her various stages, and then I've tried to show what she looks like in her own mind's eye. Well, another week's passed, and it's been a good productive week. I've got all of the character sketches, I think, done. Certainly enough to be able to move on to the next exciting stage, which is going to be coming up with the actual layouts for one of the double page spreads, maybe a couple of them actually, and then I can make a decision on which one of those I want to work up in full colour for the submission. I think I'm tracking quite well time-wise, and this little project just really does reinforce to me how much I want to be a part of this world. It's so much fun looking at somebody else's words and trying to come up with the way to help tell that story. It's a really lovely story, this one. I expect this will be a really hotly contested prize. There'll be a lot of people submitting, and I'm not even sure my style necessarily will suit. But again, it's just a really great project for developing my folio, and I think really importantly, just getting a little bit more of my work out there and give people a sense of how I might actually do the job of having to work with an author and go through that development stages with them and hit deadlines and all of the things that are critical to getting a beautiful picture book on the shelves and into kids' hands as quickly as possible. So that's where I'll leave it. The next video I think can pick up on those page layouts, which I'll work on through the course of this coming week. So I'll try and bring that all together for a bit of a chat next time. Simple pleasure this week, holding my mum's hand. She has wonderfully warm hands. My hands are always so cold. She has wonderfully warm hands. Really lovely, simple pleasure for me. I look forward to next part of this, and thank you again for all of your lovely support. And the last couple of videos have generated some lovely conversations, some really lovely comments, and I really appreciate the feedback and the encouragement. So I'm hoping this will stimulate a little bit more conversation and maybe bring a few people out of the woodwork who might consider, is this children's illustrating thing for me? This is a really, really lovely, accessible
competition that anybody can enter. So I really strongly encourage you, if you've ever wanted to know what it might be like, or just wanted the fun of putting something like this together, give it a shot. I'm having a ball with it. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.